And welcome back to, well, winter here in Alberta. We're in the midst of it. We just got our minus 40 degrees and now we can have a little bit of fun while it's starting to warm up. If you didn't catch last episode, we were out here on Ghost Lake driving my Subaru Forester around, checking out some of the tracks, checking out some of the fresh snow, and seeing if we could get stuck anywhere. But today it's going to be a little bit different. Today we're talking about 3 modifications that you can do to your Subaru to make it just a little bit better off-road in the snow. And we are going to have a 4th one, but this 4th one is something I do not recommend on your Subarus because, well, we're going to get into it. And well, let's jump right into it. Number 1 is, well, something right here. It is your tires. Your tires are actually going to depend on what you're doing winter off-roading. Here in Alberta, we get a mix of ice, we get some deep snow, like kind of what we're playing in today, as well as everything in between. And this is where your tire selection is actually going to depend quite a bit. For me, I want something that I can drive all year round, so that's why I'm sticking with these snowflake rated AT3s. These have enough grip in, well, any condition. They have nice big lugs to kind of dig in the snow, and they do pretty well in, well, soft pack stuff like this. And then when it comes to ice, they obviously aren't a studded tire or a dedicated ice tire, but they do perform well, I would say, more than I would be expecting out of these. If you're spending your time on ice, on lake, you probably want to go with something studdable and something that is maybe dedicated for ice. If you're spending time, well, in snow like this, then you might want to look at specifically a snow tire. A snow tire is going to be maybe even a little bit wider than this, but for something that is all seasons, this tire is great. If you want to hear more about my thoughts on this tire, go check out my review on the Country AT3s. And well, the second thing you should be doing to prepare yourself for snow is, well, it's actually in the back of your car. You should have a rear recovery point. Thankfully, on these older cars, I do have a tow hook that works actually reasonably well. But unfortunately, on a lot of newer cars, they have screw-in tow hooks. Ask anyone about recovering on those. Those are super, super dangerous once you start using a kinetic strap. So what I would recommend is a rear recovery point that looks like, well, a rear receiver. Those are bolted onto your frame, onto your subframe, or onto the unibody, and they provide so much more support for, well, when you get stuck. Because, well, let's face it, when you're playing in the snow like this, it is something that you will want to probably do because it is a lot of fun. In addition to having a rear recovery point for, well, obviously, keep recovering yourself and recovering others, it also is a nice little thing to add your bike rack on, your ski rack on, or even be able to tow something. And there's one more benefit for running a rear receiver on a car. And it's something that I kind of wish I did on this car, but I guess I'm kind of looking for a rear bumper now, so it doesn't matter. It allows you to go ahead and drop down on ice shelves and stuff without completely tearing off your rear bumper. If you check out some of my adventures, I have done that, and that's where I kind of wish I had the rear receiver, because you'll drop down on the rear receiver and you won't crush your rear bumper. Because as we know, when we're doing ice crossings, or sorry, not ice crossings, river crossings on the ice, a lot of times those ice shelves build up to where your car is going to drop down. And unless you have a really, really good departure angle, you're going to be wrecking bumpers. And when it's cold like this, your bumper is probably going to shatter. And well, let's go ahead and talk about the 3rd thing you should be doing to your Subaru to help improve the winter off-road capabilities. The last thing is, well, a skid plate, or multiple skid plates if you have the ability to go ahead and go from front to rear. This not only allows you to prevent taking out your oil pan, your CVT, your transmission, your rear diff, when you find that unavoidable rock in the snowdrift or a log. It also allows you to take your momentum and just slide a little bit longer when you're playing in snow drifts. It has actually helped quite a bit for carrying the Forester through really deep snow, because as I said, it creates that smooth bottom and allows you to slide just a little bit longer. But it's not going to be as effective as, well, obviously lifting your vehicle. It's going to provide and play double duty. It's going to protect your car from, well, hitting things in the snow, and it's going to give you that little bit of momentum. Why I didn't say is you really need a lift is because these cars can get quite far without a lift, and when you start requiring your lift, you're going to be needing a lot more than just the 3 things I talked about today. So that's why lifts are probably, like, I would say the 5th thing you want to do if you want to really play in the snow. But as I said, these 3 things are probably the top 3 things I'd recommend when you're going ahead and taking your Subaru off-road. And well, I told you there was going to be one thing that I told you you shouldn't be doing. And well, it's not a lift, because as I just said, a lift might be a good idea. It is snow chains. Don't run snow chains on your Subaru. Subaru warns against it. They say multiple times, do not run snow chains on your Subaru. And I'm sure some of you guys are probably yelling at your screen right now saying, hey, why can't I run snow chains? The thing about chains is they're often ran with vehicles with a transfer case. They have a low range. Unfortunately, our Subarus, unless you have one of the rare gearboxes, they do not have low range, and you're going to be spinning those chains quite fast. The issue with spinning chains is if they decide they want to break off or they have too much momentum, they're going to be ripping off your quarter panel, they're going to be ripping off your door, they're just going to cause havoc. And the thing is, Subarus don't really need chains. We have a really impressive all-wheel drive system that Subarus put a lot of time and effort into, so having chains is probably going to be a little bit of a hindrance instead of a helpful thing when you're playing with all-wheel drive. In reality, the wheels and the tires are going to be a much more impactful modification than throwing some chains on your vehicle. And well, there you go. You have the 3 modifications you should be doing to your Subaru when you want to go winter off-roading. But I'm sure many of you are maybe even yelling at your screen right now, so let me know down below if I completely got this wrong, or if there's something you would change or something you would want to go ahead and do before any of this, so that people watching this video can also get a better idea of what they should be doing to their Subarus. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, well, a little bit chilly video today. As I said, it is midst of winter here, so we got lots of winter camping, lots of winter off-roading coming still, so be sure to watch out for that. But that's gonna be it for today's video of the 3 things you should be doing to your Subaru to go winter off-roading. So I'll see you guys in the next adventure.